All right, moving on. This week, PlayStation announced the lineup for its PlayStation Store Play 2015, which is apparently an annual thing, although I didn't really remember anything from last year.
It's usually pretty good.
Yeah, there's 4 good games coming out over the next 4 weeks. So next week, we start off July 21st, finally getting the PS4 version of Journey.
Yep. Free for anyone who owned it already.
Yeah. If you already own Journey, you get that for free.
Yep.
So that's really cool. And then the following week, July 28th, is the long-awaited N++. We've been waiting for this one for a long time.
I played it at E3. I loved N. N++ started to feel a little...
You mean N+?
Yeah, I loved N+.
Yeah.
Well, and I loved N the Flash game too, but I was referring to N+, yeah.
I'm so confused.
N was the Flash game.
Right.
N+ was
The XBLA.
and it even came to the DS, I think.
It came to a bunch of platforms eventually, but most people played it on XBLA. So I loved it, and this game feels like that. Like, it feels just as good. It feels like more of the same, but a lot of games have been doing what N's been doing in the years since N+ came out.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, it didn't feel as new or as special or as fresh now that we're seeing, like, sort of frustration platformers.
Yeah.
You know, like, N was maybe the first one, and then there was Meat Boy, and then there were many, many more after that.
Like you, I like the first game a lot. I wonder if this is one of those games that's been in development a little too long.
Yeah.
Because I think this was at the big PlayStation 4 reveal event.
Was that true?
Was it
I
really?
want to say like it was announced this was coming.
This is like a weird game to have at that event.
Yeah.
And now, N++.
It
It's just in their indie game reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool game though. Like,
I mean, its sense of like momentum and physics, and like if you want to move fast, you really kind of have to get your character going in interesting ways. Like it was really fun at E3, but I hope there's more to it in like later stages. It does something new.
And then the following week, August 4th, we get Galaxy.
yes. Do you guys know about this game?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, man.
I've been seeing it at PAX. It feels like for several years now,
Yeah.
or at least a couple years. Have you played this?
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's a sort of open world spaceship sim. It's based on or inspired heavily by like a lot of 80s anime.
Yeah.
And I went to a PAX and the dev told me like, hey, like we're super inspired by Far Cry. I know that's like one of your things. And I was like, how? How is this inspired by Far Cry at all? But it ends up being a sort of stealth adventure game. Like you're in space shooting stuff, but ships will come after you and you can evade them and you can hide and you can use these asteroid fields to evade them. And it's like some Han Solo stuff. It's awesome.
I like that character art in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that anime vibe, like you said. Finally, August 11th, we're getting Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Finally.
Cannot wait for that game.
Another very cool, another of those first FPXs, right? Is that what they're calling them?
We did a whole month of those for IGN First in March. So we did we had a bunch of stuff there
With,
about like the narrative and the music.
Firewatch.
Adrift.
Yeah.
And then we closed out with Double Fines.
I still have to play Ethan Carter too.
Ooh, it's really good. It's coming to PS4.
Yeah,
Just
so
came out.
I couldn't play it. My PC finally crapped out.
Yeah.
So I'll need
one of the
to
most beautiful games I've ever played.
So that's cool. I think this is a cool lineup of games. Is it weird though that this event was sort of started by Microsoft with Summer of Xbox Live Arcade, and then they stopped that, and now PlayStation's doing it?
It's weird that they stopped doing that.
Yeah,
it is.
That was always such a cool event.
Yeah,
I don't
love
know
that.
why.
I think it was a great way.
Live Arcade went away.
Yeah, it was a great way to
why
start
did they do that?
spotlighting things too. You know.
Yeah.
Like we saw at Comic-Con, like Castle Crashers HD, and I'm like, oh man, it reminded me of like Summer of Arcade. Like this used to be a whole big thing.
Yeah.
Where you would just like take the summer to play a bunch of like kind of smaller, more bite-sized games.
Well, these games that were hard to stand out on their own. I mean, even though they are dope, like they're awesome, but like you kind of need to bundle them up and be like, look, you buy all of these and you'll get $5 or $10 back, and there's some expectation that play games for yourself or read reviews, but there's some expectation that they're going to be pretty high quality because they're putting the best of the best in front of people all at one time.
Yeah, you put something like that on a platform and you elevate it to a level that people know without even having to be told that like this means something a little bit more than your average digital game.
I mean, I think that's part of the problem with the final few Summer of Arcades, and I don't even remember any specifics, but my memory is that they weren't like Castle Crashers and Shadow Complex were like incredible, and the final few Summer of Arcades felt like a little bit more of a stretch to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
You could be right. I'd have to revisit the lineups.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that all kicks off next week.